All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. My name is Fausto Pugliese, president and founder of Cyber Trading University. Just want to do a quick audio check. Can everyone hear me loud and clear? All right, excellent. Great. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today's topic and what we're going to cover is following the high-frequency trades. I'm the president and founder of Cyber Trading University. I'm going to talk a little bit about what you've been hearing. There's been a lot of publicity been going on all over the news regarding about all this high-frequency trading and all this things that are bad for all of us. And actually, it's actually good for you. I know you probably don't want to hear that. Yeah, it's bad for the people that are trading millions and millions of shares, but now you're going to hear the truth behind how traders and investors like you could actually profit and benefit from it. Because there's always, remember, there's always three stories. It's his story, and the truth. His, hers, and the truth, and that's what you're going to see. So just to let everybody know, this is being recorded, and you will be able to go back on YouTube to watch it at the end of the presentation, and also you will be able to listen to it in your dashboard at Cyber Trading University. Now, just a quick little introduction, ladies and gentlemen, about Cyber Trading University. I want to cover a couple of things. We're going to talk about for about an hour. All right. I got some great topics to talk about, which I'll let you know in a minute. But before we do that, let me just explain a little bit about an introduction about myself and Cyber Trading University, because you're probably going to sit there and ask yourself, why am I listening to Fausto? Who is Fausto? Who's Cyber Trading University? And what am I going to learn from it? Well, there are a lot of you here that have seen me done speakings before. I know this is not the first time that you've seen me speak, but I've traveled all over the world. I'm also been a 12-time champion. I beat every single school that I competed against, and the reason why is because I am a professional trader, and I was a market maker on the NASDAQ market. Now, I started trading when I was 22 years old. Okay, here it's a very young business. In trading, you start young, and just like a professional athlete, and I've been doing it ever since. I've been trading over 20 years. Now, before I was a trader, okay, I was an investor just like you. Okay, went out there, tried to do things on my own, tried to go out there and trade, and honestly, I lost miserably. For one main reason: ignorance and no education. Okay, I thought I could just do what some of you do: watch CNBC, read a couple of books, and figure I could just start going out there and trading. Didn't realize that trading is not as easy as just opening up a brokerage account and hitting the buy and sell button. There was obviously a little bit more work than that. And I made a commitment to myself and says, you know what, there's got to be an easier way. Wall Street makes so much money in the market. I was seeing kids my age driving Ferraris, and I'm like, what do you do? And they says, you know what, I'm a trader. So fortunately for myself, living in New York, I went down to Wall Street, and I learned from some of the best traders in the world, okay? Everybody down the list, you name it, from every floor desk, from every trading firm. I went out there, and I did exactly what you're doing right now by listening to me. I went out there and got myself educated. And let me tell you what you're going to learn, okay, from today. I've learned on the first day on the job, I should have never, ever made my first trade, okay? Not that Wall Street is rigged. It's just that I didn't know how to play the game. That's the bottom line. Did not know how to play the game of trading. And that's what I'm going to teach you in the next hour. I'm going to show you how to play the game. Now, getting back to a little bit of my history, I want you all to know that I'm basically, you could call me your great-grandfather. I was one of the original day traders that started back in the early 90s. If you read any of the old books, I am one of the original, what they call SOS bandits that started back in the early 90s. And now, obviously, we're all known as day traders, and everyone on Wall Street's a day trader. We just trade our money for the day. scalping, all that stuff. I'm going to show you some of those features and how to do it. And now there's over, when I started, it was about 1,000. Now there's over 10 million plus all over the world. Now, what happened with me, ladies and gentlemen, how I got into the education business is this, okay? I was a very successful trader. My mentors always taught me, they said, Fausto, when you learn how to trade, 90% of your time is spent on education, 10% is spent on trading. Once you did all that, put all that time in of education, you know, you're going to have a lot of free time on your hands, and they were right. After 2 years, I had nothing to do. I was trading 30 minutes a day, and for some of you, you're going to see that live with me trading live in the market. I'll show all of you how I did it. And that's how I started. And over the years, I even, and which you could see right here, I helped NASDAQ, let me just get my little crayon right here, okay? I helped NASDAQ come out with ECN, high frequency trading, okay? So I was actually one of those beta testers, those developers of how to, that came out with what are called ECNs. Now, I guess some of you are watching TV and you're hearing about BAX, you're hearing about NASDAQ, you hear about Island, you hear about Archipelago. These are what called ECNs, okay? What they are is called Electronic Communication Network. It allows you to become a market maker. It allows you to place orders out there. Now, this is what's driving me crazy when watching on TV, which some of you don't know. What they don't tell you on TV is something that the exchanges, what the exchanges have done that they want every single one of you to do. And that is to get rid of your broker, which you could see a lot of them already saying it. Get rid of your broker and take matters in your own hands. And you know how you take matters in your own hands? Opening up a direct access brokerage firm, meaning you'll have access to the market. You'll have instant access to be driving your own car, okay? Placing bids and offers just like every other market maker, okay? That is the power of direct access. That is the power of doing it. Now, that's what they don't tell you, okay? That's what they didn't tell you. All this publicity that you're hearing, who's really getting affected? It's realistically, for you, it's pennies, okay? Listen, everyone has to eat. I'm not going to argue what they're doing right and wrong, but at the end of the day, the ones that really get hurt are the mutual funds, because these guys are trading 1 million shares, and if they lose a penny on 1 million shares, you could be talking about $1 million out of their pocket. You know what? You trade 1,000 shares, the stock owes a penny, it costs you an extra $1, not the end of the world, okay? If you guys really think about where we came from trading, we used to pay 15 years ago, we used to pay, remember we had fractions, 12 cents, 25 cent spreads? Remember we had traditional stockbrokers and they hit us with commissions on top of that? We went a long way to make a very big stand. But the thing is, I'm not saying what they're doing right. What I'm saying is why you have to be caught in this whole thing. You could do it yourself. And that's what I want to show you. So let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you a couple of things that we're going to talk about. First of all, I'm going to show you how online brokers make money off you. I'm going to talk about high-frequency trades, basically what's called level 3, total view, which you haven't probably heard about already. I'm going to talk about charts, keeping it simple. So regardless of all about this high-frequency trades, I'm also going to talk about some stocks that we've traded and how to trade them. So is high frequencies rigged? The debate is getting hotter and hotter. Well, first of all, let's talk about and let's see what the hell they're talking about. And let me kind of educate every single one of you that all this data that you're talking about, that they're talking about, you could see every single order out there. Once again, brokerage firms don't want you to know that this data is available, but you're here today. I'm going to show you how it works. First of all, let's talk about online brokers versus direct access. There is a major, major difference between online brokers and direct access. So this is what I want all of you to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to invite all of you to come back and watch me trade live in the market and see what it looks like to trade high-frequency trades. But before I do that, and invite all of you back for part 2, day 2 tomorrow, I want you to call your brokerage firm and ask them, does everyone have a legal piece of paper? Write this down. Everybody ready? Ask them, is my account a direct access account? Okay? Now, there's a major, major difference. Direct access means you have instant access to the market. Market makers are not routing orders around your order. They're not doing payment for order flow. They're not acting as a middleman, which is what all online brokers are doing. Direct access means you have instant access to go out there and place bids and offers through the exchanges without dealing with a middleman. Okay? That right there is about 50% of the failure rate in trading. Okay? I'll give you a little basic understanding what it is. The difference between online brokers and direct access brokers is online brokers is like dealing with public transportation. Once again, you pay a small fee and you got a bus driver driving you around. Okay? Direct access, there is nobody driving you around. You buy your own car, you have your own driver's license, you can come and go whenever you please. Okay? Ken says brokers may say they're direct access brokers, but how can you tell? You know, Ken, that is an excellent question, okay? And there's two ways I'm going to answer that. Number one, tomorrow, I'm going to invite all of you, and I will show you what it looks like to be in the real market conditions and place real orders on the exchange, okay, with a direct access broker. That's number one. Number two, the way you're going to know that, if your brokerage firm, like you said, you know what, you don't know if who you're talking to, if they're telling you the truth or not. Well, the way you could tell is that when you place an order with them, you should see it being advertised on level 2 and total view, level 3. If you don't see your order being advertised, then you do not have direct access trades, okay? Lucas, you know what? You know, they say they are, but I don't think that they are. Interactive brokers. Thinkorswim is direct access. They do give you direct access. Okay, they do things a little bit different. Great company though. Okay. All right, so let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, because I got a lot to cover here, and we're really short for time. All right, let me just fix something over here. All right, so let's just change the slide here. There we go. Okay, so what is level 2? Okay, now, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I know everyone here is going to be asking me, what is about this brokerage firm? What about that brokerage firm? What about that brokerage firm? Listen, we're very short for time here, okay? This is your job for tomorrow. Call them up and ask them, is my account a direct access account? That's all you have to, and then tomorrow, tell me what they tell you, or I'm going to give you my personal email address here, faustopcorp.com, and then I'll tell you tomorrow where to find it and if they are the right ones, okay? But before we do that, let's work off this first, okay? Now, does anyone here know how to read level 2, folks? Let's start off with that. Anybody here know how to read level 2? Don't be shy, everyone. No one's going to pick on you. You could say no. That's why we're here, right? Okay. Well, obviously, we're getting a bunch of no's. So let's talk about that. B stands for the buyers, which is the bid. S stands for sellers, and that is the ask. Okay? Now, what you're looking at, when there's 3 different levels of trading. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. Most of you probably never heard of level 3 trading. Okay, that's called total view. That's called where the institutions trade. That's where you see the high frequency trades. Okay, so as of right now, let's talk about level 1. Level 1 is basically, if you watch CNBC right now, you see that little ticker on the bottom? That's level 1. That's the best in the best offer. Okay, level 2 You can't get it. That's absolutely, completely RK. And by the way, if everybody could log in with their real name, I hate calling people by letters and names and you know, whatever. So you guys could please log in with real names. I like to call you by your real name. But that's absolutely, completely false. I don't know who told you that. You can get it. Absolutely, you can. Maybe the brokerage firm wants to tell you you can't get it, or maybe you don't know where to find it, but I could tell you where to get it. It's pretty easy. Level 1, Ginger, is just basically right here. That's the best bid and the best offer. You look up data on the internet, wherever it is, you look up you look up a stock symbol, it tells you what the stock is trading. That's level 1. Now, level 2 is a lot more information than that. Okay? Number 1, you have 3 columns. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now, in the first column, what you're getting is a 4-letter abbreviation of the brokerage firm's name. Okay? So that's what the market maker is right there. Now, if you notice, let me get my little pointer right here. There we go. You see the people, little pound signs? Everybody see that? You see with bats and all that? These are the people that we're talking about yesterday. Archipelago, NASDAQ. Those are the exchanges, okay? Those are basically, you actually could have access to place orders on those companies. Those are the exchanges. Everyone else, the CBOE, Amex, the Philadelphia, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, First of Boston, Cantor Fitzgerald. These are all brokerage firms. So you have 2 people in level 2. You're having exchanges and you have brokerage firms. And what they're doing in the first column is they're trying to buy the stock. The second column is telling you how many shares they want to buy, the price they want to buy the stock for. Third column is telling you how many shares they want to buy. Everything there is multiplied by 100. Now, on the sell side, these are people looking to sell it in the first column. Second column is what they want to sell it for. And the third column is how many shares they want to sell. Now, the way level 2 works is this. Whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to buy it for less money is down here at the bottom. Whoever wants to sell their shares for the least amount of money is up here on top. Whoever wants to sell their shares for more money is down at the bottom. So what you're seeing is a negotiated system. People are advertising what they want to buy and what they want to sell. So what level 2 is, it's basically a big chat room, okay? And it's being controlled by the exchange, and people are advertising what they want to buy and sell the stock for. That's it. That's level 2. Now, this is the problem with level 2. The data that you're seeing in level 2 is not always correct. And this is what they're talking about, you'll see on TV or other people will tell you. Level 2, now listen to me carefully, okay, because I'm going to tell you the real truth behind level 2. Level 2 is only giving you the market maker's best bid and best offer price. Did you get that? You're only seeing the best bid and best offer of what that brokerage firm or ECN wants to buy the stock for. That's it. So now what happens, this is where total view comes in level 3. This is where you see the high frequency trade, okay? Now, level 3, total view, gives you 20 times more data. And I'll explain to you. This is how it kind of works. Everyone here wants to buy a stock. Let's say you want to buy, BVSN, the stock BVSN. You might be a 100-share buyer at $42.50, but you're really a big buyer of 14,000 at $41.35. Now, level 2 is only going to show you this price. It's not going to show you that price. That is why a lot of people don't like to use level 2, because you don't see all the orders. Now, let me ask everyone here. I have a question for all of you, okay? Does everyone here, do you guys see, I have a question. This is a question for all of you to answer, okay? And this is how I'm going to prove to all of you why most of you don't know how to play the game of trading. Does everyone here, actually, this is a question I had to ask. How do stocks go up and down in the market, everyone? How do stocks go up and down? You should all be able to answer this question. Okay. Supply and demand. Buying and selling, right? Supply and demand. Can everyone put that in the chat room? I want to wake everyone up here. Come on, everyone. Supply and demand. Can everyone put that in there? Supply and demand. Don't be shy. Okay. Now, when you trade a stock, an option, a Forex, a future, any stock that you trade, do you see the supply and demand? Yes or no? Do you see those orders, the buyers and sellers? Okay. Now, you just answered your own question, why you're trading blind. Let me ask you, how valuable would it be to you to see all those high-frequency trades? How valuable would it be able to you to see where the big block orders are? How valuable would that be? It would be huge, right, Daryl? It would be huge. So basically, you guys have been trading blind your whole lives. And this is why you hear so much negativity, people making a big deal. Well, little do you know that those floodgates are, that data is available to you. The exchanges are there. Believe me, if it wasn't for the exchanges, okay, you would still probably, as of today, be dealing with 8 1/4 spread. You'll be still dealing with stockbrokers paying 2% commissions on every trade. You'll still be dealing with high commission rates. Okay, the exchanges did everything they can to make you, as a private investor, to take matters in your own hands. Look at Wall Street. Haven't you ever look at the New York Stock Exchange? How many people are down there? There's nobody there anymore. They're all out of a job. The exchanges put them out of a job. The technology is available to you, and this is what you guys are seeing. Now, I know there's a lot of questions here coming across. Guys, I really, really apologize if I can't get to all of them. I will give you my email, and please, if I didn't get to your question, email me your question. I'll get back to you, because I said we're very short for time here, and you know, I don't want to keep you other one all day. Otherwise, I could be answering questions for the next 3-4 hours. Okay. So, how do we use this data? Well, what are high-frequency trades? Well, they make smarter trade decisions by having not just the information, but the right information. And that's what you're about to see. So let's look at a high-frequency trade. Okay, so everyone here know how to read charts? Anyone here know how to read a chart? You always get people say, of course I know how to read a chart, all right? I think that's the first thing people want to know is how to read a chart. It actually makes you look smart, too. It's a very pretty little thing there, you know? Well, I hate to tell you this, but 80% of you guys read charts backwards. Probably falling off your chair right now, but it's the truth. I'm gonna prove it to you. Okay, you guys ready? All right. Let's take our first lesson on high frequency trades. So here we have a stock that started, went to a high of 298, came back down, and now what it's doing, it's coming right back down up to 298. Now, when you hit a resistance level of a previous resistance level, what is supposed to happen? Is the stock supposed to go up or go down, everyone? Can everyone answer that? What's supposed to happen? Well, it's supposed to go down. When you hit a ceiling, you know, and you climb up a ladder, can't predict the future. We sure can predict what happened in the past to the last guy who hit his head, right? Okay. Well, once again, how do stocks go up and go down? Supply and demand. Now, for you to have a resistance level, Joan, news, let me explain something about news. News doesn't come out every 5 minutes on a company, okay? News is a fraction of what controls the movement of the stock. What controls movement of the stock is supply and demand. End of conversation, okay? Buying and selling. all right? You guys ever hear something called program trading? Okay? This is program trading at its best. For a stock to hit a resistance level, what do you need at a resistance level? What makes a resistance level on a chart? Supply, right? There must be sellers out there, okay? Now, looking over here, do we have sellers or do we have buyers? What do we have more of? Buyers or sellers? Well, you got 75,000 shares on the bid versus 2,000 on the offer. I don't know about you, but I think the stock's going to go past that resistance level. Hey, don't you see stocks break resistance levels all the time? Now, this is where I told you a lot of you reading charts backwards. Think about this for a second. When you trade in the market, okay, and you look at a chart, and you're sitting there scratching your head and wonder why Mr. Fibonacci, that cross with Mr. Bollinger Band, broke a resistance level, because the seller was not there. What makes supply and demand is buying and selling. And everyone's keeping hearing about, you know, well, where is the supply and demand? It's in your level 3, something that you guys have been trading blind all these years. These are these high-frequency trades that you're looking for. These orders are already out there. So a lot of the orders that you're looking at, you can see all these orders out there. Jeff says it's an eye-opening. Jeff, you know what? You have absolutely no idea and clue. This is just, I didn't even scratch the surface. This is just the beginning. My goal is to sit there and make you guys realize how long you've been trading blind. Remember, I was one of the original day traders that started 20 years ago. Now, I'm not that old. I'm only 42, okay, but I started almost 20. I started one of the first educational schools in I would say almost in the world, actually. I think there was only 2 or 3 of us back then, back in 1995, okay? And the only reason why I got into education is because people like you were knocking on my door and kept asking me, hey, Fausto, I see you driving a beautiful Porsche. Wait, you know, and you're hanging out all day. What are you doing? Some people thought I was, you know, I wouldn't even want to tell you what people thought I was doing. I said, I'm a trader. And they're like, I don't understand. You only work 30 minutes a day? They says, well, you know, I got the right education. I learned from the market makers. I'm telling you what they're doing. Now, this used to be called Instinet when I started. Okay, these orders that you used to see, we used to call it Instinet. I know some of you guys are talking about dark pools, and I'm going to send you guys an article. If anyone wants an article, I'll let you read a really good article on it. Dark pools are basically what I used to use was called Instinet. I'm sorry, SelectNet. And if you read any of the old books, actually I teach it in my courses about what it is. I teach you the history of trading, because if you know the history, then you know exactly what some of these people talk about all day long. Okay? Mike's been trading since 1991, so you know a little bit more, Michael. I don't know how long you've been around, but you probably know what I'm talking about, SelectNet, Instinet, you know, looking at the book. And these are little things that help you become better at it. Once we are all educated, it will change the game, Steve. Steve, you know what? I hope that every one of you are going to make an investment. All 400 or 500 people here are going to join me tomorrow morning and watch me trade live in the market, okay? Now, but it's not going to happen. I hate to say it. It's not going to happen. I'll be happy if only 10% of you can show up. Because 90% of you, honestly, just let all of you know, some of you, it's just not for you. It's just, you know, somebody say, you know what, I got the news, I found out trading's not for me. I'm going back to my 9-to-5 job, you know? See what I'm saying? Ron is going to be on the cruise ship. But at least you get to see the video. All right, so anyway, let's go back to another high-frequency trade. You see risk resistance levels right here, ladies and gentlemen? You see that right there? What makes resistance level is the 45,000 share seller out there. You see that? That is a big block order that somebody's really trying to sell. That is one of your high-frequency trades. Here's another example. Here's a stock trying to go up. Now, do you ever guys ever trade a stock and like, well, my God, the stock's breaking a high, keeps going up and up and up. I really want to, you know, where's the resistance levels? Well, here's a one-day chart. And here is a, you could see a monthly chart, you know. This is a minute chart. That's a daily chart. And you could see, you know, back in history, you had resistance levels right there. Well, what makes resistance levels is not the 200 or 500 share seller, but the 12,000 and the 10,000 share seller out there. Steve has a very good point. Can they pull orders after they place them? Steve, do you ever put a limit order out there and change your mind and cancel it? They could do the same thing. Absolutely. That's what I was trying to tell you earlier. I didn't even scratch the surface. Right now, what my goal is today's lesson, what I'm trying to teach you, is that 99% of you, maybe that much, maybe 95% of you here that logged in didn't know that you could actually see those high-frequency trades in the real market. The exchanges are giving you that data. And all you keep on hearing all about the negative, but you don't hear the positive. And why that is because a lot of you were never trained how to play the game. Fred, you're absolutely right. And once again, that's a game that's being played, and that's something that you have to learn that I teach. Now, for some of you, I always get somebody, I know this is starting to become a little bit of discussion, but, you know, I want to bring this up with you. You know, I was on a panel. I do speakings all over the world. And once again, I told you one of the things that I love doing is I love competing in challenges against other traders. And once I went up against I was on a panelist, on a panel with like 4 other traders, and I had a guy next to me that kind of challenged me a little bit, and you know, trying to tell me that, oh, those orders are fake, those ain't real orders out there. And you know what I told him? I said, oh, you think that's fake? Okay, this is what we'll do. How much money you got in your pocket? He goes, well, what's your point? I said, how much money you have in your pocket? You got $100? I says, I'll bet you $1,000. I have $1,000 in my pocket. Put it on the table. You could take my $1,000. And if I'm wrong, you could keep my 1,000. If I'm right, I get you 100. He goes, what do you want me to do? I want you to execute that guy for 12,000 shares. Go put an order out there and execute him. And let's see how fake it is. If you don't get executed, you keep my 1,000. If you get executed, you own 12,000 plus your 100. I owe you 100. You owe me $100. And you know what they say? They lie. You know, he's like, I don't want to do that. So my point is this: there's nothing fake about that order. All right. So let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of questions. Let me just try to go through a couple of questions here really quick. Let me try to bang them out. And then, like I said, I got a bunch of questions, a bunch of slides still to go through. What's the percentage of orders pulled in a game and system? Jeff, it's a case-by-case basis. You know what? You deal with more brand name, more expensive stocks. You're dealing with better traders, and they'll pull orders all the time. Absolutely. That's why I kind of educate my students to trade less expensive stocks. Think about it, Jeff, and all of you. Why are you here? Not just to know about high-frequency trades. You're here because you're in the business and you want to make money. You're doing this as a business. That's what it is. So you're just making an investment in your business. And that's what we teach here at Cyber Trading University. At what point do trades consider as high frequency? Well, that's another good point. At what point does it come into factor? Well, when you see more shares versus the little shares. Okay. Remember, what makes support and resistance levels on a chart? Big orders. And by seeing those orders, that's what's going to help you. Does this apply? Does it apply to futures? It applies to everything. It applies towards options. It applies to Forex. It applies to everything. Okay, so no matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, it applies to everything. And also, for you option traders out there, okay, I want to remind all of you about options. If you want to be a good options trader, well, first you have to be a good stock trader, because it's the movement of the stock that makes the option move. So if you don't know how to trade stocks, then I'm telling you, it could be very difficult for you to be a very successful options trader. So here we have an example. I want to show you. Here's another really nice example. Resistance. Don't sell the whole numbers. Okay. So here is 1054. Does everybody see that? Okay. I mean 1057. That's a clock right there. You see the resistance levels right here, okay? You see all the sells going on? Do you know why that stock is going down? Because there's a 14,000 share seller out there. That's what you have, a 14,000 share seller. You think 1,600 shares is going to push the stock down? You think 200 shares is going to push the stock down? No, that is a high frequency trade of 14,000 shares, okay? Now, when you change the slide, look at the clock. See, it says 10:57. In less than 3 minutes, we are right now trading at 487. Now remember, we went from 469, which was literally $5 because of that big seller, and now we're down to 487. Okay. Now look over here. Look at the sellers: 7,000, 3,000, 2,000, 400. No big deal. Now at 489. Now you have another order that popped in here: 11,000. So you're getting people pushing the stock down. Okay. Do you ever go out there and do a trade and then like, darn it, I knew I should have sold it. I knew I should have got out that resistance. I got greedy. How many of you get greedy? How many of you guys get too cocky and say, you know what, but everything looks like it's going up? Happens to you, Jeff, all the time? I bet it happens to all of us. I get greedy sometimes. But the fact is the fact. And the way stocks go up and go down, everyone, supply and demand. And what did we just see here? We saw an HFT of a big high-frequency trade out there being placed out there. All right. So last slide, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, last slide. All right, on high-frequency trades. And then we'll talk about some other good stuff, okay? Here's your resistance levels. Stock hits a support. Stock hits a resistance. Stock hits a support. Stock hits a resistance. Stock is right now at a support level. And in theory, when the stock hits the support level, what is it supposed to do? What is it supposed to do? It's supposed to go up. So here at 1620, it probably makes perfect sense why it's a resistance level, because there's a 10,000 share seller out there. But this is the past. This is the present. Where's our 10,000 share buyer out there? Do you guys see him? Do you see a high frequency trade of a big order? I don't. So if he's not there, what do you think is going to happen to the price of the stock? It's going to go down. Once again, how many of you are shadowing the high frequency trades? How many of you? Not me. Do you think high frequency trades would be an advantage to your trading or a disadvantage? An added advantage, absolutely. And this is why the students I teach, and I've been doing this for 20 years, and I have been 12-time champion, and you'll see some of the students in here, and you're all going to be welcome to come and join us, you know, tomorrow to watch what it's like to trade live in the market. No, I appreciate, Noel, more than thank you for your compliments. Now, well, shakes and shocks. I mean, we do a lot of shakes. I do teach shakes too. You know, now understand something, and I know I repeat this earlier, but guys, you got to remember that trading is not that hard. A lot of people make it more complicated and more difficult than what it is. All right, you can do very, very well in the trading market. Listen, trading is one of the best jobs in the world. Think about it. You are your own boss. You can come and go whenever you please. Okay, the only people that really are getting ripped off in the high frequency trade business, realistically, is just the big mutual funds. But you know we are. We're just taking the crumbs off the floor. We're nobody. But there's this thing that you can use it towards your advantage. I cannot tell you how many times I have trained so many hedge fund managers all the way back when the market even crashed many times, that because they just don't understand the trading market. So that is what you need to do. Eric says high frequency trades should be really fast. It's not. It's not, Eric. You know why it's fast? Because you're looking at fast stocks. And one thing I teach you is to stay away from those fast-moving stocks. There are over 10,000 plus stocks that trade in the market. Why does everyone has to play the Googles, the Teslas, the Apples, the Microsoft, the Ciscos, the Yahoos? Why do you have to trade those? There's so many other stocks out there that will give you less risk and more reward. Okay, and let's talk about one of them. Have you ever got? Here's an example of a stock that I traded yesterday. Monday. Okay. Did anybody hear about the stock BIOF? Anybody hear about BIOF? Anyone? Nobody heard about BIOF. BIOF was a stock that was up in one day, I think like 130%. Okay. BIOF, let me just give me a second here. Let me just share my screen with you, okay? I'm going to bring up an execution system up. Hold on one second. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Hold on one second here. All right, there we go. All right. No, I totally disagree with you, Cowboy. This was not a penny stock, okay? First of all, I don't trade penny stock. And secondly, the way you know that it's a penny stock, a bulletin board stock, is if there's no level 2 data. If there's no level 2 data, then it's on the pink sheets and bulletin boards, okay? And talking about Cowboys, and Red Sox, yes, trading penny stocks and bulletin boards are the wild, wild west till today. I always tell people that, all right? So the thing is this. Here's a stock, BIOF, all right? You could see right here that this stock was a $2 stock back in just ending in February. And the stock in one day went from a $2.10 to $4.10. And then it had some big news, and the stock got gapped up, and it went from $4 to $7.80. Now, if you look here on the intraday chart right here, look at this stock when it moved. In less than 30 minutes, the stock went from $4 to $6. Now, let me ask you something. Do you really care what a stock does, or are you here to make money? What is the purpose of you trading? I mean, honestly, do you really care what BIOF does? I don't even care. I don't even know what the company does. I don't want to know. Okay, all I know is I got to put food on the table. I got bills to pay. I have a mortgage. I got 3 kids, okay, that want to go to college. BIOF is an opportunity to make money, okay? So here you have the stock that had a big run-up, okay? Now, let's go back to my slideshow. Now, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm asking all of you. I'm going to invite all of you, if you guys are interested, to come and join me for a live trading. That's right. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a live trading demonstration. Now, I run a professional trading room, okay? It runs all day. It runs from 8 in the morning to 4 o'clock. And in that room, and starting next week, we're going to be talking about Forex, and we're going to talk about options, okay? But I run a professional trading room. I've been doing the professional trading room for probably about 15 years now, okay? Now, what I do in my professional trading room is this. It's Eastern time, Steve. Now, what I do in my professional trading room is I run a room how I was trained. Now, before I got started, I used to work in a boardroom with other traders, okay? And I took that concept and did it online. Now, what I show you is, does anyone here know how to see pre-market trading? Do you guys ever watch pre-market, what happens before the market even open up at 9:30? Do you see all the orders? Do you guys see orders? Do you see the high-frequency trade? Do you see the charts and data? Wow, it's not a lot of yeses when you got 400 people, over 400 people in here, okay? Not in detail? Well, what I do is I do a live broadcast at 9:30, at 9 o'clock before the market opens up. And I go through a live broadcast to show you what's moving in the market. And then my audio broadcast is just after I do my audio broadcast, and we're seeing this a lot, we go shopping for stocks, okay? And I show you what's moving in the market, and I usually show you how to find stocks that are moving and what's moving and what's not. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is BIOF, I Twitter and text all my messages. I run what's called a cyber group room, and the BIOF was one of the trades in the morning. Now, I could bring on my Twitter page, and I could show you, minute by minute, and you could see this, what really happened. Now, a couple of my students did pretty well. Brett N., I don't know if Brett's here right now, but Brett made over $30,000 on that trade on that day, okay? Once in a while, I do a shout-out to my students. Mike, 22, in my trading room, he made $13,000 trading BIOF, okay? So I did a little shout-out to Mike. Now, this is like maximum. Now, my goal, oh, Brett, you're here. Okay, Brett's here. So he's one of my students. Here he goes. Brett, like I said, I always give a little shout out to all my students that did very well. Now, that is a grand slam home run right there. Now, look at it. That's right. I look at Brett a round of applause. He did a great job. Let's give Brett a round. I couldn't believe I didn't even know he made that much money until he told me in the chat room. But my goal is not to show you how to make that much money. My goal is to show you, could you make 200? Could you make 500 a day? Do you know how hard it is to find a job that's paying $200 a day in today's market? Very, very difficult. Well, listen, let's not give Brett all the credit. Mike 22, 2012 did pretty good himself too. All right, so I don't know if Mike's here, but I think he's in the trading room actually. So anyway, to move on, ladies and gentlemen, here's some of the trades I even did a couple of weeks ago. I mean, a lot of you probably heard about, the SYHC. I mean, I don't know any of these stocks, AYWR. Now, I show my winners and losers. I had nothing wrong with that. I show you my times. These are all the stocks that we did in pre-market. What these companies do is irrelevant. It is totally irrelevant. All we care about is making money. And I show winners and losers. I would tell my students, and you know what? Every trader, I tell them the same thing. Don't judge me on the winners. Judge me on the losers. Okay, so I know everyone's here like, oh, yeah, Fausto made so much money in this trade, but what about the other one you lost? I have no problem. Great traders, okay, lose money. We all lose money, okay? Joe DiMaggio, one of the greatest baseball players ever lived. He didn't bat 1,000. Yeah, he hit 56 straight hits in a row, but he wasn't going to hit, 500 in a row. It's impossible. You're going to strike out. You're going to make money, but you need to know how to play the game. So why do 80 to 90% of traders fail? Is because they don't know how to treat trading like a job. And part of your job is education. You need to know how to play the game. Now, trading, listen, I'm telling everybody here, and you probably know this already, trading is the best job in the world, but it's not for everybody. It really is the best job. And why it is the best job? You are your own boss. You can come and go whenever you please. You can do this anywhere in the world. Why would you not? Okay? Why would you not want to? You do this in your pajamas, and you only have to work about an hour a day. That's all you need to do. And like Steve saying he's unemployed. Steve, why go back to work? You are employed. Just go out there and trade the market. Learn how to trade, but this is the biggest mistake that people make. They all want to go try it first without education. And I can tell you this, I am not putting my loved ones under the knife of a doctor that never, ever learned how to do surgery. And I know for a fact you guys will never, ever go out there, and give your money to a financial analyst that never learned how to trade, well, guess what? You guys are doing the same thing. You're going out there and you're making the same mistake. So education, I know it doesn't pay you. You don't see the return, but you got to learn from somewhere. You need someone to teach you. You need a mentor, okay? Anyone here watch the movie The Biggest Loser? You ever watch that show, The Biggest Loser? Those really heavy people, and they lose all that weight. And you're like, my God, some of you probably say, oh my God, that's me. I think we all could lose a couple extra pounds, right? You know how hard, you know how many times they tried to diet these people, and then finally they lost. So how did they lose? You think they lost because of themselves? They lost because they had a coach. They lost because they had someone to train them how to do it, okay? And that's what you need to be. You to me, are a professional athlete. If you want to trade in the market and you sit there and wonder, because you can sit there and scrutinize all you want. It says, look at these guys. They're making so much money on Wall Street. They're ripping us off. Hey, you know what? Don't give your money to them. You know, I get people that always tell me, they're like, you know, I hate professional athletes. You know, why do they make so much money? Why do they make so much money? I says, well, you know what? You're the person paying to go see in the game. If you don't pay, he doesn't get paid. Well, the reason why these big guys make money on Wall Street is because you're paying them. You're giving them the money. What do you need them for? Do it yourself. Keep the money yourself. But you have to learn how to do it first, and that's the beauty about trading. So, if anybody here wants to learn about dark pools and what they are, feel free to send me an email. I'll be happy to give you an email and send an article to you. Once again, here's my personal email address, dpucorp.com. I'll also put it back on the screen here again. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, if you got any questions, I answer all my emails. Now, I might not be able to get to everybody here today. I'm still trying to catch up on Saturday, but feel free to email me if you have any work. Now, yes, this is being recorded. This is being recorded, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for some of you who don't know this, Cybertrade University, I'm a 12-time champion. I don't know, maybe you attended some of the money shows or Traders Expos here in the States or in Canada. I've been to Paris, been to France, been to China. I competed against every trader. I beat every single school I competed against. And we were also ranked #1 school 6 years in a row. Now, if some of you guys want to follow me on Twitter, and we have 2 different Twitter pages. We have a paid version, which you get your daily picks every day of what we're trading, or you can get a recap at the end of the day. You could follow us at Twitter at Cybertrade University, CyberTradingU. If you guys want to watch us on, any of these recordings or any past courses, just go to our, just subscribe to our YouTube channel at CyberTradingU. Okay, everybody got that? You can find us on. You can also find us on our homepage or our website. Now, if anyone here, Michael, thank you very much for that comment. Mike Sage, one of my loyal students, also logging in. Thank you so much. Now, by the way, who here is a student? Anyone here a student? Wayne, you are. Okay, Jim. Just want to see how many students we have here. Okay, Jeff, you're just doing a trial right now in the trading room. Jeff, did you start on Monday? Were you in there Monday when they made all that money on the BIOF? You were there? Okay, good. Just want to let people know that was very cool. I know we had a couple of good ones this morning, too. This morning we had a couple of good trades. That market had some big moves. I mean, some of you probably heard about the Mankind trade. Thank God, did exactly what I told you was going to do this morning. Go down, being up so much. But once again, all of you guys are going to be able to learn this. Now, if anybody here wants to learn to make about 200 to 500 a day, that's usually the norm for a professional trader that's working part-time. Thanks for the promo trial, John. You're more than welcome. Glad you're enjoying it. And just keep sticking with it. Okay? Now, if anybody here wants to learn how to make the $200, $500 a day, which is what I kind of teach students what to do. Now, to make 200 a day, just to let you know, it's buying 1,000 shares of stock, and it's moving 20 cents. That's it, 20 cents. That's all you're looking to do, 20 little cents. That's it. Now, how to do that? Basically, we're giving a 1-week trial. Come and join me for 1 full week, okay? 1 full week, and for $19, that's all I'm asking. Give me your lunch money, all right? I can promise you, hell, I can even guarantee you, if I don't show you stocks that go up 20 to 50%, okay, call me back, and I'll give you money back if you don't trust me, okay? Now, my staff is probably going to go crazy saying something like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, we show people stocks that are up 20, 30, 50%, 100% on the day. And if you don't believe me, join me for $19. And now, we don't make any money on it. It's mainly for compliance purposes. You can click on my name and register for it under my information. Right there, you got a little paper link, or you can click on that link that I put in the chat room, and you can register right there for $19. And yes, Albert, we are going to be covering Forex starting on Monday morning at 8 a.m. You're going to get a Forex recap of the same thing, okay? All right, now here's my personal email address. Yes, Kathleen, you could use it towards futures also. Here's my personal email address, faustop@ctucorp.com. If you want a copy of the slides, or if you want to get the recording, just take my email address and go from there. All right. Now, for everyone, like I said, I'm gonna answer questions for about another minute or two. If anyone has any questions, feel free to contact me, or just put them in there. Now, if anybody here wants to talk to an education advisor, call the number on the screen. We've got several education advisors, even some instructors. If you want to talk about your trading, they'll be happy to take your call. I pay these guys a lot of money, so please do me a favor. Utilize it, give them a call, and ask them some questions. Fausto, what is your percentage risk per trade? Lucas, you know what? My percentage risk versus yours is different. I have deeper pockets. You know, you can't look how much I make. I look at what you need to make, and I try to focus on, you know, on a day's pay. So if your day's pay, if you're looking to make $50,000 a year, all right, basically it's 200 a day. You don't lose more than 200 a day. Okay. How do we join tomorrow morning? All you have to do is click on the link, and you can get that. Do we accept PayPal? Yes, we do. I think we do. Call the office, Judith, and you got to do, and they'll tell you a little bit about it. Now, remember, guys, you all heard about the truth about high-frequency trades. Well, guess what? I'm going to show you live in the market. You'll see it live. Don't be sold on seeing some basic PowerPoint slides. I'm going to show you live tomorrow. You know, but once again, we can't have thousands of people in there, so make a small investment. It's not going to hurt you. 19 bucks. What's the worst that could happen? For 5 days, you learn something. It's recorded. You can go back. You can review the meetings, all that stuff. Now, once you register, just to let you guys know, once you register now, you'll have access to the room right now in the room. Okay, so once you log into your dashboard, it's going to prompt you into the professional trading room. Now, I'm going to be doing a speaking at 2:30 of what to trade in the afternoon. So for everyone here that wants to trade and watch the trades that go on in the trading room, if you register right now, you'll get in the 2:30 speaking slot that I'm going to be doing that's coming up in the next hour and a half going into the close. Yes, Steve, it's all Eastern Standard Time. John, if you want to continue to be a member after that, it's $197 a month. But once again, you make the decision after 2 weeks, after a week. Just sign, no problem. Well, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you in there. Do we need a large account to make this type of money? Steve, that is a complete misconception. You don't need a lot of money, okay? First of all, I don't trade stocks over $30 anyway because you deal with the best traders on Wall Street. We need to do that for. About futures, James, Listen, 70% of the trading is all understanding how to play the game. We do talk about futures in the trading room. I specifically like to day trade. I like to day trade. I like to trade stocks. It's the easiest, simplest way to do it. How do you do it? Like I said, here's the link. Just click on that link, or you can type it in. You can find it right on our homepage or our website at cybertradinguniversity.com. Do I day trade futures? No, Susan. I only trade stocks. I do some options trades. I do some Forex trading. The thing that all of you guys have to know is you have to test them all and see which one works best for you. And then you should learn. You need to learn about Forex, your stock options, E-minis, whatever it is. And then by you understanding it and knowing how it works, and then that's what you want to go for. But you need to learn a little bit of everything. Kim, you could talk to our Forex instructor. He's going to do a speaking at 8 a.m. Coming up this Monday, and then we also have a Saturday event, and he'll tell you about that. And the answer is yes, you can. Gerard, yes, we do. Jeff, you saw me on Tasty Trade. You saw me with Tom Sosnoff. Yeah, he's a great guy. I've been doing speaking for Thinkorswim for over 7 years. Great company. Can't say, got a great team over there. Not too many people I could say a company has great tech support and a great supporting staff. And and plus that's a great show too. They are great for options, Steve. They are. Earl, that's not necessarily true. Not for everyone. I mean, you could be a prop trader and not have an issue with the $25,000 day trading rule. Well, listen, before you guys go out of your way and opening up brokerage accounts and worrying about the rules and regulations, first, you don't put the carriage before the horse, okay? You got to learn how to drive first. Susan, TradeStation's pretty good. I mean, there are other companies I would recommend that are probably a little bit better, but it depends what kind of trader you are, Some brokerage firms are better than others for certain platforms and for certain customers. It's not, I will never ever say this one is the best, because it's the best for you, but not for maybe someone else, because everybody is a case-by-case basis. Some of them, different traders, all of you. Once again, Susan, you know what? Why don't you send me an email, and I'll give you a questionnaire, fill it out, and I'll tell you which one would be best for you. All right, guys. Listen, our hour is over. I know there's a lot of people that have other things to do, including myself. I got to get ready for my 2:30 professional trading room that's coming up. Once again, if you guys register for the 1-week trial, it's $19. You'll have access starting right now in the trading room. Call the office. When you buy the $19, make sure you talk to an education advisor. You get that. It's included. You're also going to get a little trading tutorial workshop that's going to come with it. You'll see it on your dashboard. Ask the education advisor a little bit about it, okay? And then once again, watch and learn and see how real traders trade in the market. Watch and learn and see why education is the most important part of your trading. And then this will hopefully give you a good sense of direction if you want to move forward with trading, or maybe you want to go back to your day job, okay? In the meantime, everyone, thanks for coming. I hope you all enjoyed it. In the meantime, I will see everybody, hopefully every single one of you, tomorrow. And feel free to come and join us. We're going to be doing a lot of these all the time. So just stay on our email list. We're going to change it up every time. We'll talk about time and sales. We'll do a charting free class. I do a bunch of them. So feel free to just stay on our email list and join us whenever you feel like it. And once again, our door is always open. Always give us a call. Remember, we're not a brokerage firm. We don't work for them. We work for you. So we're going to do its best and educate you guys what you need to know and the things they don't want you to know, okay? And that's why you're here. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy. Look forward to seeing all of you, hopefully every one of you, in the next few minutes in the trading room and for the next week. Have a great day.